A very good morning, dear students of class 10A, B, and C. Today I would like to start a new chapter, that is chapter 6, Minerals and Energy Resources. So, as I explained, I would like to request you all to please keep your textbooks open and follow as I teach the chapter. Now, metals and minerals have been a part and parcel of human beings since ancient times. Now, if you see on the surface of the earth, we have different resources like water, vegetation, soil. These are the resources that we have on the surface of the earth. But then we also have resources which are found deep under the earth's surface, in the rocks. These resources which are found deep under the earth's surface are called as underground resources. Now, we have different types of rocks which are found under the earth's surface, and these rocks have different minerals. So therefore, different rocks have different minerals. So what is a mineral now? Minerals are basically naturally occurring inorganic substance which have which have their own physical property and chemical composition. That means minerals are naturally occurring inorganic substance which have their own physical property and chemical composition. Now, if you see, most of the minerals that are found are found in a combined state, that they are in a mixture with other substance. Now, minerals from which the metal or content can be obtained profitably are called as ores. That means, once again I repeat, minerals from which the metal content can be obtained profitably are called as ores. For example, if you see gold, silver, lead, zinc, see, these are some of the examples. Now, minerals are basically non-renewable resources. That means if you use the resources, therefore it finishes, and therefore you cannot use it again and again. Therefore it's termed as non-renewable resources. Now, if you go down, we have classification of minerals. Now, minerals can be classified into three types. We can see here, see, minerals can be classified into three types. The first one is a metallic mineral, the second one is a non-metallic mineral, and the third one is a mineral fuel. So we have the classification of minerals into three types: a metallic mineral, non-metallic mineral, and mineral fuel. Now let us see what is a metallic mineral first of all. Now, metallic minerals are those minerals which are found in the igneous rocks. Metallic minerals are those minerals which are found in the igneous rocks. You can just see here. See, in their natural state, they are solid, heavy, and expand when heated. They can be melted into various shapes and sizes and possess a shine or luster of their own. Example: copper, iron, gold, silver, zinc, etc. So therefore, metallic minerals are basically found in the igneous rocks. They are very strong, heavy, and when they are heated, they expand, and because of which they can be melted and made into various shapes and sizes, into thin sheets. They can be drawn into wires and so on, and they have their own shine and luster. Okay, so that is a little bit about the metallic minerals. Now, the second one, what is a non-metallic mineral? A non-metallic mineral is basically a mineral which is found in the sedimentary rocks. See, they cannot be melted or drawn into wires and do not expand when heated. Example: limestone, salt, gypsum, mica, etc. That means here the non-metallic minerals are found in the sedimentary rocks. Unlike the igneous rock, unlike the metallic minerals which are found in the igneous rocks, they expand, they are heated, and therefore when they are heated they expand. But here, in the case of non-metallic minerals, they are found in the sedimentary rocks, and they cannot be melted and drawn into wires, and they do not expand when heated. See, therefore they cannot be made into various shapes and sizes. Example: limestone, salt, gypsum, mica, and so on. And then we have the third one, that is the mineral fuel. Now, what is a mineral fuel? A mineral fuel is also actually a non-metallic mineral, but because of its ability to give power and energy, it is termed as a mineral fuel. So we can see here, see, Coal and petroleum are non-metallic minerals, but because of their ability to give energy and power for development of transport and industry, they are characterized as mineral fuel. So that is the three categories of minerals: metallic mineral, non-metallic, and mineral fuel. Now let us go a little bit in depth and see the first one, that is of the metallic mineral, that is iron ore. Now what is iron ore? Or let us look into some basic aspects of iron ore. Now iron ore is one of the most important mineral of our country. The total reserve of iron ore in our country is around 6.6% of the world's production. About half of our production of our country goes to foreign countries, European countries, even the Gulf countries. It goes to Japan and also to Korea. So these are the areas where mineral oil is exported. Now there are three main varieties of iron found in our country, or there are three main varieties of iron ore that are found. The first one we have is what is it? Magnetite. The first one we have is magnetite, which is the best quality, which has the highest amount of iron ore content. It has 72%, 0.4%, and then which is this is also basically found in states like Andhra Pradesh, Goa, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka. Then we have the second one, that is hematite, which basically is comprised about 70% of iron ore, and it is found in the states of Andhra Pradesh, Jharkhand, and Odisha. And then we have the last one, that is limonite, which is the poorest grade of iron ore. It contains around 35 to almost 59% of iron ore content. So this limonite is the lowest graded iron ore. So that is a little bit about iron ore. Now let us go and see the next one, that is manganese. What is manganese? Now manganese is basically used in the manufacture of a very special type of steel. It makes the steel very hard, tough, and it does not rust very easily, because of which it's used in the electrical industry, it is used in the chemical industry, say it is also used in the glass industry, manganese. And India ranks second in the world in the production of manganese. If you see the states which produce manganese, they are Madhya Pradesh, Orissa, Andhra Pradesh, Goa, Karnataka, Jharkhand, and Rajasthan. So these are the areas where we have manganese produced in our country. You can just see here, see the table, see production of manganese ores in our country. The first one we see here is Odisha. 33% of it is produced in the state. Then we have the second one, Karnataka, 24%. Then we go to Madhya Pradesh, which produces 19%. Then Maharashtra, see. Then we have Maharashtra, which also gives 20%, much more than Madhya Pradesh. Then Goa, and then lastly we have is Andhra Pradesh. So this is where we get manganese ore extracted in our country. Now let us go to the next one, that is the next part, and that is bauxite. Now if you can see, bauxite is the main source of aluminium, which is of great importance. Bauxite is the main source of aluminium, which is of great importance. Now it is very strong and light, because of which it is used in, for instance, the aeroplanes and also in electrical wires. Because it's very strong and at the same time it's very light, therefore it is used in the aeroplanes and also in the electrical wires. The states that produce this are basically Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand, Odisha, Gujarat, Maharashtra, and Tamil Nadu. So this is something about bauxite, another mineral that we are just discussing. Now we go further on and see a little bit about copper. Now as a metal, copper came into use much more earlier than iron, if you see. Okay, so as a metal, Copper came into use much more earlier than iron. Copper has been used to make utensils, coins since a long time back. And because it is a non-rusting, because it has the quality of not to rust, it does not rust, and because it's a good conductor of electricity, it is extensively used in a vast variety of electrical machineries, cables, and wires. Now, one important thing we have to keep in mind, okay, before I go to that, it is also an important metal used in the automobile and defense industry. See, copper is used extensively in the automobile and defense industry. Now, one important aspect here is that it's a malleable metal. That means it can be beaten or hammered into various shapes and sizes, and it does not break. So this is a very important characteristics we have to keep in mind here. Copper can be beaten, hammered into various shapes and sizes, but it does not break. And because of which it's used in the manufacturing of mixed metals. It is alloyed. See, it is alloyed with zinc. It is alloyed with zinc to give brass. When it's mixed with iron and nickel, it gives stainless steel. When it's mixed with tin, it is known as bronze, and with nickel it gives German silver. So it's basically mixed with other metals. Okay, and then copper is usually found in combination with a number of other metals such as iron, gold, silver, etc. Now if you see the states which produce copper, we have, see, Odisha, though Jharkhand is the largest supplier of copper, but here in the table we have Odisha, which produces the maximum amount, 50%, Gujarat 15.82%, Jharkhand 11.87%, Maharashtra and Chhattisgarh. But then you can follow what is there in the textbooks right now. Okay, dear students. So now let's go to the next one and see the conventional source of energy. Now, the conventional source of energy are those energy, for instance, like coal, petroleum, and natural gas. See, conventional source of energy are those energy like coal, petroleum, and natural gas, or fossil fuel like wood as well. Now, okay, or they are called as fossil fuel as well: coal, petroleum, and natural gas. Now, the conventional source of energy are the source which are non-renewable and ecologically hazardous. Now, they cannot be renewed. Once you use these resources like petroleum, if you use it once, you cannot use it again. If you use natural gas once, it cannot be used again. If you use coal once, it cannot be used again. Okay, so that this is one aspect we have to keep in mind. It is non-renewable. The source of energy are being used extensively since long time in such a way that they are known as reserves. Their known reserves have been depleting to a great extent. They have been used extensively, highly they have been used in various industries aspects, because of which its consumption is very high, and therefore there's a chance of it being depleted. Now, the burning of coal and oil saves time. It saves energy. But then what happens? One of the biggest drawback it has is that it adds to the global warming, which is very, very dangerous, that we have to keep in mind. So here, as I was telling you, the conventional source of energy like coal, petroleum, and natural gas have really helped us. But if you see the burning of coal and oil, they have reduced the time, made things much more faster. The amount of people that are engaged in this also is reduced. They give more energy faster. But what happens is, when you burn these source of energy, when you burn these fuels, what happens is it results to a great impact in causing global warming, which is so very disastrous for all of us, and which has been a great concern to all of us, to all the environmentalists, to everyone. That is global warming. So now let's go and study a little bit in detail the different types of conventional source of energy one by one. The first one we have is coal. Let us see something about coal. Now, unlike the other conventional source of energy, coal also has a very, very important role. See, it has its own very, very important significance. It was formed in the Carboniferous period, see, due to high temperature and pressure, which led to the slow burning of plants and trees, which are known as fossil fuel. That means coal was basically formed in the Carboniferous period, due to high temperature pressure which was applied on the trees, which was applied on the trees and plants, which led to the slow burning of these vegetation, which are known as fossil fuels. So these green vegetation in time, was converted into black coal. So that's how coal was being formed, mainly because of the high temperature and pressure that was applied to the trees and plants, whereby burning it slowly, at the same time applying equal amount of pressure on it, which ultimately resulted to the formation of black coal. Now, India has the world's largest deposits of coal. Most of the coal here is of low quality. The quality that is found in India is mostly of low quality. Now, let us see the different types of coal one by one. The first one we can just see here is peat. Now, peat is the lowest graded coal. See, it has only about 35% of carbon content. The reason why it's so is because the temperature applied to this section is very less. Type of coal is very less. The pressure applied to this type of coal is also very less, because of which what happens, the quality of the carbon content is very less, and therefore the quality of the coal is very, very low. The second one, if you go to the next one, that is lignite. Now, it is basically found in states like Tamil Nadu, Rajasthan and Kerala. But here what happens is the carbon content is a little bit more, say around 40%. And here the pressure is also slightly more compared to peat, and the temperature also here applied here is slightly more, and because of which what happens, it's slightly a better quality coal compared to peat, and therefore it's also regarded as a medium quality coal. It is also known as a brown coal. You can see the color there, brown coal. Then we go to the third one, that is bituminous. We'll take both these two in the aspects. Bituminous. Now it's found in the states like Jharkhand, West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha and Chhattisgarh. And the carbon content of this coal is about 70% to 80%. That means 70 to 80% of carbon content is found in this type of coal. That we have to keep in mind. Here is because the pressure is greater. See, there's more amount of pressure applied to this coal. Then also the heat that is applied to this coal is also much more, because of which what happens is the carbon content is more in this coal. It burns for a longer duration. The smoke emitted is slightly lesser. The ash that's left behind also is very less. So therefore the quality of this coal is much more better, bituminous. Then we move to the last one, that is anthracite coal. Anthracite. Now it's found in Jammu and Kashmir, and it's the best quality coal is because it has a content of almost 85 to 90% of carbon content is found in this type of coal. Now here what happens, the coal is very hard. You can see huge amount of pressures applied to this coal. The temperature that is applied to this is also very, very high, because of which the coal is very hard and compact, and therefore the coal burns for a longer duration. It gives much more energy, heat out. The smoke emitted is very, very less, and after this coal burns, the ash that is left behind is also very, very less. Now, the distribution of coal, if you see, India's coal is mostly associated with the Gondwana series, that is the old type. And then the other type that we have is the tertiary series, which is the new type. Now the Gondwana coal fields was basically coal fields which are formed nearly 200 million years ago. It is found in the river basins and valleys, and about 98% of the country's coal is found in this type of 98% of the country's coal is of this type, that is the Gondwana series. It's found in Jharkhand, West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh and Odisha, Chhattisgarh and so on. Now if you move down to the next one, that is the tertiary coal. This coal was formed almost 66 million years ago, and it's formed when the Himalayas were formed, and 2% of this type of coal is found in our country. That is the tertiary coal. It's also known as the new type of coal, because it's found much more recently compared to the Gondwana coal. Now the uses of coal, if you see, it is mainly used to generate energy, electricity, number one. It is used in the metal industry, in the furnaces, especially in the smelting of iron. It is used in the railway locomotives, steamships and industries. It is also used as a basic raw material for chemical industries, dyes, fertilizers, synthetic explosive, etc. And it has byproducts like byproducts like benzil, phenol, tar, sulfur, which have their own importance. Now, one of the problems that we face, the problems faced by the coal mining, what are the problems faced by the coal industry in our country is transportation. If you see, most of the coal that is found in our country is found in the Chota Nagpur region, and therefore the coal has to be transported to different parts of the country. And because there's a lot of inconveniency in transporting these coal from the region, what happens is the cost of coal becomes very high. So this is one of the disadvantages that is being faced by this industry. Number two is that very low quality coal is found in our country. Very low quality coal is found in our country. Now, another one problem that is being faced is that lack of high skill and technology. There is a lack of high skill and technology that is being experienced in our country. Lack of high skill and technology that is there. And then even the machines that are used are very obsolete, very old. There's another danger of fire and floods being created in this region. Now, how can these problems be solved? The problems can be solved mainly by increasing the technologies that are being applied to this industry. Better technologies, better working environment, see? Scientific mining technologies, better working environment, safety and standards of the miners, and research should be of international standard, and then selective mining should be discouraged. So these are some of the problems that some of the solutions to the problems for this industry. Now let us go a little bit further and see the next one, that is the petroleum industry. Now, minerals or petroleum is found in the basically found in the sedimentary rocks like limestone, sandstone, and shale. The word petroleum is basically derived from the Latin word petro, meaning rocks, and oleum means oil. So petroleum is basically found in the rocks. It is also called as liquid gold because of its versatile use. Now, it is believed how did petroleum get formed? It is believed that petroleum has been derived from the organic plants and animals that were buried in layers, in huge quantities in layers in the distant past. Now, these layers prevented the complete decomposition of these organic matters, but increased the temperature and pressure, causing partial distillation and forming oil and natural gas. That means the organic animals and plants were buried in layers in distant past, and these layers that were there, huge layers that were there, prevented the complete decomposition of the organic matters. But at the same time, high temperature and pressure was applied, which resulted to causing partial distillation, whereby causing forming oil and natural gas. So, distribution of petroleum in India, about 40% of the total area is under the sedimentary rocks. It's basically found in the northern plains, the Brahmaputra valleys, Assam, the Thar Desert region, Gujarat plains, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Now, in order of the importance, if you see the areas where the mineral deposits are, the first one is the offshore sea near Mumbai. The second one we have is the Assam valleys, that is Digboy, then Nahari Katia, then Rudra Sagar and Numati. These are found in Assam. And then we also have in Gujarat and Gulf of Khambat region. Now, the major oil field areas in our country are basically divided into eastern and western. The eastern one, as I told you, is basically associated with all the oil fields that are found in the Assam region. And the western is mainly focused in Gujarat and Maharashtra. Now, the Oil and Natural Gas Corporation of our country have been conducting various surveys. In our country, and these surveys were mainly there to find oil fields, offshore oil fields, to find the oil fields or oil extracting regions in the offshore areas of Kutch, Khambad, Krishna Godavari Delta, and so on. But the greatest success that the ONGC got was achieved at Mumbai High, Bassein, and Alia Bet. So, a little bit about Mumbai High. It is almost around 176 kilometers away from Mumbai in the Arabian Sea. and the drilling of oil is mainly done with a jack up type drilling platform known as Sagar Samrat. Besides Mumbai High, we also have oil fields or offshore oil fields in Bassein and Alia Bet. Now, some of the uses of petroleum, if you see, is mainly used as a fuel for air, water, and land transportation. It emits very less smoke and fuel. It is used to generate power. Its byproducts are lubricants, kerosene, Vaseline, tar, paraffin, wax, and benzene. Now let us go a little bit further and see the next one, that is natural gas. Now natural gas is becoming a very important source of energy for us as well, because it's very cheap and eco-friendly, and therefore its importance is growing day by day. Now natural gas is available from the oil wells mainly associated with crude oil. That means where basically crude oil is found, in those areas we have natural gas. Being lighter, natural gas is extracted first, followed by the drilling of oil. So at the time of drilling oil, first you extract natural gas because it's lighter, it's above the pool of oil, and the gas is extracted first, and after the gas is extracted, then you extract the oil that is below the gas. Okay, so gas is used mainly in chemical fertilizers, petrochemical industries. Then it's also compressed natural gas is used in running vehicles. LPG is used in domestic homes for cooking, liquefied petroleum gas, and India is one of the largest producers and consumers of natural gas in the world. Now let us see some of the conventional source of energy. What are the advantages of the conventional source of energy? The advantages of conventional source of energy, if you see, are that coal, petroleum, and natural gas are ready-made fuel. Then it's very easy to produce and use it as well. It is available, it's widely available and affordable also. It is cheap to mine and convert it into energy. See, the reserves of coal, gas, and oil are abundant if monitored correctly. So there's plenty of resources if you find the areas where they are found. Some of the disadvantage of conventional source of energy is that they are non-renewable, and therefore they go on decreasing, they are depleting. And then it generates a lot of acid rain, because when you burn fuel, it generates sulfuric, carbonic, and nitric acid, which results to the causing of acid rain. So this is one of the second disadvantage of the conventional source of energy. Then it also has radioactive materials, mainly uranium and thorium, are released when we burn coal in the atmosphere. When we burn coal and when the gas is released into the atmosphere, it contains radioactive materials like uranium and thorium. So this is the third disadvantage. And then burning coal has also generates large amount of bottom ash and fly ash. So this is the third disadvantage of the conventional source of energy. Now a little bit more I just would like to do is the oil refineries. Now crude oil is obtained from the oil wells. Crude oil is obtained from the oil wells. It needs to be refined. It needs to be refined before it can be used. This crude oil needs to be refined before it is used. In 1954, India had just one oil field. See, in 1954, India had just only one oil refinery, that is Digboy. But then slowly by slowly, now today we have around more than 18 oil refineries in our country. So we have companies like the IOC, Oil Corporation of India Limited, Indian Oil Corporation Limited, Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited, Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited. Then we also have private companies like Reliance Petrochemical Limited. So these are the companies that are, this is also one of the companies, private companies, which has been venturing into this oil field in the oil industry. So today we have more than 18 oil refineries in our country. So I will end this section here, dear students, and the remaining part of this chapter I will complete in the next class. So till then, take care of yourselves, dear students, be safe, and do your studies regularly. Thank you so much.